The group Anonymous has been vocal about the current climate of the United States, and one of the most recent things they highlighted is that of the justice system. A recent headline was shared by the group, which stated that private prisons threaten to close unless state or federal officials fill up 300 more beds. One anonymous member pointed their comments towards the current president of the United States, Joe Biden, saying that you're going to see a lot more of these headlines in this current climate, especially because petty crimes like owning pot will draw up those prisons, saying how many of those individuals in those prisons are in there for owning a plant. The other thing that prisons have to deal with is private corporations, so lawsuits and fines are not unheard of. A private prison is also a huge moneymaker, and can offer its services to the government and charge hundreds of dollars per inmate. It's essentially a business. The group also said that there's incentives to fill those private prisons, as they can make a yearly profit of $370 million, with some researchers saying that that number is even higher. These private prisons also cut corners in order to increase profits, so they don't train their employees as much as public facilities, and they also have fewer staff. This bad environment leads to a higher turnover. They also said though that the system is rigged, and they use examples like a New Jersey judge who was caught taking millions of dollars in bribes to jail people, and it's suspected that this was done in order to boost numbers in certain age groups. For example, this judge jailed young people and first offenders. These individuals would normally be given a less harsh sentence, as it was their first time committing an offence. The thing about this is that we know it's happening, and even when the judges are put to trial, they only get a tiny amount of prison time. For example, that judge only got 2 years in prison. One user said the following: "You'd be called an out there theorist if you said that the system was rigged, and that judges are taking millions of dollars worth of bribes under the desk. It sounds like something from a movie, but this type of stuff happens every single day. The messed up thing is that when these people are caught, nothing ever comes of it. How can people do this and get so little time? Yet someone who does a petty crime can get upwards of 5 years in prison. It's all wrong, and this is only the stuff we know about. What else goes on that the people aren't aware of?" End quote. One user said that they should transform these prisons into rehabilitation centres to help those who have been stuck in the prison system. There is currently a discussion around prisons and how they treat people, and whether the model should change in countries such as England and the United States. Those against prisons have said it doesn't fix people, and instead you lock someone up for years and then just release them back into society, saying that most people who end back up in prison are repeat offenders. Many believe that those people who have served their time deserve a second chance, or shouldn't go to prison in the first place. Much of this information was gathered from the Sentencing Project, which goes on to detail the following. The Federal Bureau of Prisons maintains the nation's highest number of people managed by private prison contractors. Since 2000, its use increased 77%, and the number of people in private federal custody, which includes prisons, halfway houses and home confinement, totaled 27,409 in 2019. While a significant historical increase, the population declined 33% since its peak in 2013, likely reflecting the continuing decline of the overall federal prison population." End quote. One user said the following: "In any sane country, having to shut down a prison due to lack of criminals would be seen as a win, but supply creates its own demand." While another said that it's strange that they're almost begging people to do something bad, so that they can get more people inside their prisons. Some people were vocal about the fact that terrible people often get away with some of the worst actions as well, with this individual saying the following: "I know what we're going for here, but there's also a conversation to be had about motives and agendas. Why do some of the worst people get let out of prisons early, for them only to go up there and cause more harm to people? What about those in the public eye that do unspeakable things? only to get minimal time due to their connections. The whole system seems to be flawed, and there's a big conversation that needs to be had about how these places are managed." End quote. Or some said that although there's many people in these prisons that deserve a second chance, or were wrongly accused, what about the people inside these buildings that are genuinely terrible people, and want to do nothing more than cause harm to society? They said that on paper prisons work, and are a good idea to keep people safe, but it's the way you follow through with these rules that makes the difference. The Santa Fe, New Mexican newspaper said the following about the prison that said it was going to close its doors unless it found 300 more people. The company that has operated a private prison for nearly 3 decades has announced it will close the Torrance County Detention Facility and lay off more than 200 employees unless it can find 300 state or federal inmates, saying that they need to fill the empty beds within the next 60 days. The city and the surrounding community have been a great partner to CoreCivic for 27 years. A declining detainee population in general has forced us to make difficult decisions in order to maximize utilization of our resources. So what do you make of this conversation? And do you think the way that prisons are run should be changed? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.